Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Tati, back with another review, this time WWE Money in the Bank. This was a really great pay-per-view. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it was really tough for me to sit through this, simply because it started at 3, ended around 6:30. It's not even the length of the pay-per-view, it's the middle of the day, and I'm sitting down watching TV. I never do that. I'm not really a TV person. The only time I really watch TV is pretty much when it's wrestling related, and those things usually come on at night. So it was a little rough for me to sit there and not do anything during the day but watch TV. It's just not my thing. However, this was a really great pay-per-view and I enjoyed it. We started off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, which I wasn't expecting. I thought we was going to start off with the women's. Once this got started, I felt like, okay, we're going to see some really great things here. Was this match perfect? No, there was some definitely mistakes and some things that might end up on Botchamania, but you know, you got to look past those things and recognize all the amazing things that these guys were able to do in this ring. Now, Logan Paul, I'm not a fan of his. However, I do feel like he performed really well here in this match. The only thing I didn't like was that I kept seeing like those Prime drink bottles everywhere, even under the ring. When they went to go get the tables, they were there. And I'm just like, I don't want to feel like a wrestler is advertising his fucking business on a show. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't like it. Either way, he did a great job, but the fans let him know that he still sucks. Now, we did have a crazy spot with Ricochet and Logan Paul. After LA Knight had pushed the ladder, they both were balancing on the ropes, and the ropes kept shaking. They're shaking and moving. And I'm like, holy crap, this is not going to be good. But Ricochet ends up hitting a Spanish fly onto two tables that were outside the ring. Now, it sounds cool when you hear it, but when you actually see it and pay attention to how it happened, Ricochet ended up planting his own fucking head onto the table as well. So I hope he's doing okay. You know, Logan did get hurt from that as well. He was bleeding from getting cut or scratched from the table. So it was like, it's a cool move, but they both definitely got hurt from that. Now, throughout this match, the fans are going crazy for LA Knight. He's definitely the favorite going into this match here. And I know that WWE knew that. So we had a few moments where we had LA Knight going for the briefcase, but it doesn't end up happening. So in the end, it ends up with LA Knight and Damian Priest. And Damian ends up getting the win, and I'm so happy because that's who I wanted to win. But I kind of was thinking that maybe WWE was just going to give the fans what they wanted, which was LA Knight. And I have to say, Damian Priest, like, he's really talented. He looks like a fucking snack. If you're single, give me a call. I just absolutely enjoyed this match. I do think that, you know, some of these guys here were really impressive, and I hope we get to see them have more and more opportunities or whatnot. But I think the right choice was made here with Damian. If it was LA Knight that took the win, that would have been cool too. I'm really happy. So congrats to Mr. Senor Money in the Bank. Next, we had the WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the line. Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this match was decent, average. Nothing really special in my eyes. However, what everyone is talking about with this match here is we have towards the end where Shayna tags in a Ronda. Ronda steps like 2 or 3 steps into the ring, and Shayna just attacks her from behind, mollywops her ass a few times in the ring, end up putting her into a clutch, and she just left. And it's just like, what the hell? It had came out of nowhere. I don't know if anybody think that they saw this coming. For me, I felt like throughout the match they were working together, and it just seems like it just didn't seem like something that was going to happen based off of what was going on in the ring during that match. So when it just came out of nowhere, I think it took everyone by surprise that Shayna would do that. Now, in this particular case, does that make Shayna a heel or a babyface? In my eyes, I think it makes her look like a babyface. I don't know if WWE is going that route, though. I know a lot of people don't like Ronda, so in this case, it kind of does make Shayna look like a babyface in this situation. But you know, Liv ends up taking advantage and taking the win here because of that. Now, I think it would have been maybe even more interesting if Ronda was able to take the win for her team anyway. I thought that would have been cool if that happened. But either way, congrats to Liv and Raquel for the win here. This is really, really interesting. And I think rather than the match itself, this is what everyone is talking about. Next, we had the IC title on the line, Gunther versus Matt Riddle. Another decent match, predictable. We already knew that Gunther was going to take the win. So this was okay, nothing to be wowed about. But I'll say this, at this point with Gunther, when it comes to the pay-per-views, I felt going into this match that I'd rather see him in the ring with someone that makes it seems like they might take the title from him. I see Matt Riddle and I don't see like he stands a chance against Gunther. And just when I was thinking that, Gunther takes the win and then Drew McIntyre returns. And the place has erupted. Drew McIntyre's getting into the ring and he's standing in front of Gunther. Gunther pushes him in the face and Drew was like, you know what? You gonna get this ass whooping, and he ends up attacking him, and everyone is excited about it. So we might see these two guys at SummerSlam. Most likely that's the case. I'm really excited. So when I was thinking that he needs a more credible opponent, especially at the pay-per-views, Drew McIntyre came right on time. So I am definitely looking forward to see these two go at it one-on-one. Up next, we had Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. Another decent match. Nothing too special here. Just a good excuse to put two guys on the card here. I'm just going to say that even though Rhea was ringside and distracting Cody and getting involved, that did not help Dominic at all. Yeah, at times it helped get some control, but it didn't help him get the win. Now, I do want to say, though, I do think that Dominic, you know, he puts a good effort here in this match, but in the future, I hope they stay away from all this Eddie Guerrero stuff and Rey Mysterio stuff and let him grow on his own as his own character, as his own person. I think he's going to thrive the most when people can just see Dominic for Dominic and not see anything else in Dominic but himself. I think that would help him moving forward. It was a decent match, but to be honest, it's skippable. Up next, we have a surprise. John Cena is in the house. Yes, Mr. 5 Moves of Doom came out of nowhere. I definitely was not expecting that. Now, a lot of people speculated that several other people would return, but John Cena comes out and he's basically just saying a whole lot of good stuff. You know how he is. And he's campaigning that WrestleMania should be in London. And you know what? I've been saying that for years, that they should definitely do a WrestleMania in the UK. Also, while he's doing all that talking, he gets interrupted by Grayson Waller, who comes out saying, you know what, we should have WrestleMania in Australia instead. And I think that's a good idea too. Really don't matter. It's based off of who's first. But either way, I think international shows when it comes to WrestleMania would be absolutely huge for WWE. And for whatever reason, they're just not going with that. Now, while all that's happening, Grayson does attack John Cena. And John Cena is looking a little helpless for a little bit, like he's been at home for a little too long and hasn't been in the ring. And then all of a sudden, he just gets all the strength from God and hits a attitude adjustment, and Grayson rolls out the ring and John Cena leaves, and the fans are absolutely loving it. Now, it's great to see John, and I really think that this was a surprise that no one saw coming. So it was a great little moment for the fans, especially those live in attendance. But this thing ran on for like 15 minutes. That's a little too long for me. Up next, we had the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and the person that I thought was going to end up winning this. So congratulations to Io Sky. I really think she deserves it. However, the way she ends up winning it really surprised me. So she ends up handcuffing Bayley and Becky on the ladder so that she can climb up and get the briefcase. Now, that's very clever, but this does come off pretty heelish here. However, you know, this is you winning the Money in the Bank. You got to be an opportunist. So she took the opportunity and she got the briefcase. So congrats to her for that win. However, Bayley don't look like she happy for her friend winning this match. I really think that this is definitely going to be the main shift onto, you know, their friendship or whatnot. So it's going to be interesting to see how things happen. Will we get to see these two go at it at SummerSlam? We're probably getting to that. So I like to see how this storyline unfolds from here. All the ladies here, they do give a really great effort in this match. There are some moments that fell flat for me. However, I'll give credit where credit is due. This was a really, really great match for these girls. Now, I did have my eyes out on Trish throughout this match. Unfortunately, I do feel like her lack of experience in this type of matches showed here. And she hasn't been in the ring in a really, really long time before she returned in action. So I think that showed here. But like I said, I do appreciate everyone's effort in this match. Check it out. Next, we have the World Heavyweight title on the line. Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor. Another great match here. Let me just say this. Now, while I do believe that these two guys have great chemistry and they work really, really well in the ring, and this is one of those matches that I really did enjoy on this card all the way through, something that threw everyone for a loop was we had Damian Priest. He came out, and I guess people were just like, hold on, you about to cash in after you just won that thing like an hour ago? I think that was something to really put everyone on their toes. That did change the psychology of the match, because it's like whether or not Finn or Seth takes the win, it doesn't matter. He's cashing in. He ready for either one of these guys. So I thought that was really, really interesting. So Damian Priest, he's sitting ringside watching the match, and it's just like, wow, okay, I like where they're going with this. So now that changes, you know, some things into the match. I feel like it picked up even more between these two guys. And I really enjoy seeing these two guys in the ring together. Great chemistry. However, we do have a distraction from Damian Priest where that accidentally caused Finn Balor to lose. And yeah, Seth Rollins does retain, which I'm pretty sure everyone knew was going to happen anyway. But it, you know, I like where they're going with this. Is there going to be a lot of friction between the Judgment Day members? Probably. And that makes it for a good storyline. I can't wait to see where things go from here with that. All right, you guys, main event time, the Bloodline Civil War. We have Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos. Now, let me keep this short but sweet. This was obviously the best of the night. So it's like I don't want to say anything bad about this because it's so good. And the storyline is absolutely amazing. But I have to say, one thing that I did not like was them playing on that stupid thing where the ref got hurt, so he's out for about 10 minutes or so, and we're gonna do whatever it takes to win this. And it's like, we don't have to keep doing this every match. I just feel like that right there is just not necessary. We didn't really need that. Another thing here that I really okay, so maybe I'm just being picky here, but I felt like the psychology, while it was perfect, it was the main focal point in this match over the actual wrestling itself. Now, I don't want to say that's a bad thing. I just felt like it was a heavy focus. And for me, it's like, yes, that should always be part of the match, but I felt like it just was more of a focus than the actual in-ring work. And you guys know me, I love wrestling. I want to see men in the ring going at it, grappling on the ring. That's what matters to me. So I felt like it's less of that and a little bit more about the story that's being told. That's great. Now, what I really appreciated here was that the Usos took the win. I think it was the right call, and the Wright brother, Jey Uso, pinned Roman Reigns. Now, Roman hasn't been pinned since, I want to say, 2019. I'm not sure exactly the date, but back in 2019. That's a long ass time, okay? And I was really glad that, you know, as far as the actual finishing moment was nice and clean. And that's all I wanted. That if the Usos took the win, it would have been something nice and clean for the Usos. Everyone's happy and celebrating after, well, except for our tribal chief and Solo Sikoa. But I really felt like this was a really great thing for the Usos to go over this way. For it to be a clean pin was also really, really important. And I do think that for it to be Jey to take the pin was also important. I really feel like we're going to see Roman and Jey go at it one-on-one pretty soon. And we did get to see, you know, some little shades of that throughout the match. So seeing those two guys go at it one-on-one, it's going to be a really great treat here. Now, here's another complaint. WWE has been hitting it out the park with this storyline for quite some time. Two things. We need a new superstar coming out from the shadows that we can see already. You know, he's not going to be the champion forever. You know, I think it's a little bit difficult to see where the storyline's going to go now. Obviously, like I said, we'll probably see Jey versus Roman. But, you know, at some point, it's all going to come to an end. And if WWE can do something so amazing with these guys, why don't we see that solidly throughout their whole shows? You know, we do get great matches, but we can have other really, really great storylines, just like what we have here with the Bloodline. So I really would like to see WWE really push it with other people on this roster as well, and have really strong, great stories being told, not just everyone tuning in to see one really, really, really good story with the Bloodline. Do that. Have that same energy with everyone on this roster. And, you know, you guys will have new people watching. You guys will have old people watching. And I think that with wrestling, it's really, really important to focus on these storylines just as much as the in-ring work as well. This is something that I would like to see across all promotions. This is definitely a great pay-per-view. This main event ended exactly the way that people wanted it to end, and definitely it was the right call for the Usos to take the win. I really enjoyed this, but please, no more knocking over the referees for God knows how long. It's not something that's needed in these matches anymore with this particular storyline. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I really enjoyed this pay-per-view. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. Bye.